Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, Pat on your back, personal fitness. Hope everyone is having a great day, a great week so far. I enjoyed your break from us last week. Took a little impromptu break to look after a couple of things. So, sorry, just checking one thing here. Okay. But we're back. So again, nice to give you a little break once in a while. Again, a couple things to look after here, a couple things going on that I wanted to just kind of look after and be able to have things taken care of so I can give my best energy here when we're together. So thanks for your patience with that. Again, hopefully back now on a more regular basis and looking at having maybe some encore episodes queued up for the instances when we can't go live or something comes up. And as we mentioned before, our pal Blake is streaming again 3 times a week, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. So we're going to chat with him and see if maybe when needed, we can maybe share some of his broadcasts to our Facebook group, Facebook page to again fill in if needed as a special correspondent as he's done before. So again, hope you're doing well. Thanks for your patience. Tonight, we're going to go into overtime. We've talked sport analogies here before. We go fourth quarter. We talk halftime partway through the year as moments to check in and refresh and see what we're doing. Tonight, we're going to talk about overtime because we have 2 upcoming overtime periods coming up very quickly and quite close together, really. So it provides a unique opportunity for us to make the most of those opportunities and try to make the most of those overtimes. One of them we do normally get. One of them we only get occasionally. So again, it gives us some extra time. Overtime is an extra burst of time to try to come out with a win in the game. Typically in sports, you're tied. There's extra innings in baseball. There's overtime. There's extra time, depending on what sport you potentially watch or know about. But essentially, you've played our regular time. It's a tie. We need to break the tie, so we do some extra innings, overtime, extra time, whatever the case may be. Hey, Nads, welcome in. So tonight we're going to go into overtime, but we're not necessarily maybe tied. Maybe you are. Maybe you're even down a little bit, and that's okay. You know, it's end of February. Sometimes it's tricky to stay on with our goals, and in the new year, when we get back to work, things happen and come up. Maybe there's been some struggles, some roadblocks that we have to deal with and work through. And again, that's perfectly normal. That's okay. Those things happen. Remember, it's a new year resolution. We have the whole year to work through this goal. We have the advantage, if you've been with us, that we started again in October. So we have a few extra months even ahead of those that potentially just started January 1st. And if you're one of those that started January 1st, that's okay. That was your perfect time to start. Let's keep going. But we've been gifted, again, 2 upcoming overtimes that I really like us to take advantage of and make the most of to make sure we're in the winning column. Again, there's still lots of game left. We're going to get a little bonus extra overtime here. Almost like a penalty kill, I guess, in a hockey, maybe a power play, we'd say would be a good analogy too. But we're going to be given some extra time to use here, and I want us to make the most of it to, again, make sure we're getting that advantage. We're ahead of life, and we've got a bit of a buffer there, just in case those obstacles do arise, because they probably will. The first one is, as we record this, tomorrow. Today is February 28th, 2024. It's a leap year. Tomorrow is the 29th of February, 2024. We get a whole extra day this year. Every 4 years, we get an extra day in a leap year. This is a leap year. So in 2024, as you set your goals back in October of 23, or whenever you set them, put them together, put the plans in place, you get an extra day this year to work on those, to work towards them. And it's early in the year. It's February. We're only 2 months into 24. We still got 10 more months to go. So what a nice gift for us to have to put a little extra work in to either, again, maybe catch us up to where we want to be, maybe to help us push ahead from where we thought we would be at this time. or maybe just to get things back in order, maybe to reset, refresh. Maybe it's a day that we can use as a check-in day. Maybe we talk about our month end, month beginning. Maybe is a great time to check in with yourself and how are things going. Maybe this bonus day can be that day for you, where you reflect, revisit what's working, what's not, tweak and adjust, and then you can hit the ground running on March 1st. So again, you're not losing the day to evaluations. It's almost, again, like a bonus kind of check-in day or evaluation day. But what I like us to think of is ways to really take advantage of that extra time. We have an extra 24 hours this year. Now, it could be tricky to get a ton out of it because, again, it's during the week. It is Thursday. So Thursday is probably a normal day for everybody. But if big retail places can have leap day sales and they can take advantage of the extra day, why can't we as well? So what I'd like to challenge you to do tonight, if you haven't already, and maybe you have, and if you have, I'd love to hear from you what you're planning. Take some time this evening to think and plan and prep. How can I make the most of tomorrow? Now, again, it's a Thursday, so maybe you work or you have your regular weekly responsibilities. Those are going to be there. But there's going to be some downtime in the evening, maybe in the morning before work. What can you do to make the most of that day? And how can you implement it? Maybe you can think of some things that you typically would do on the weekend. Maybe you have some extra activities they do, or a to-do list for your Saturdays and Sundays, again, when you're not working, when you get some errands done and some things kind of cross off your list. Maybe this is a way that you can check some of those things off. Spend your day at work, maybe you head out in the evening and get some of those activities done. Then when we get to the weekend, which is a regular day, you've got maybe some more free time to work on your goal, to work on yourself, to check in, to refresh, to keep yourself going. Maybe that's how you make the most of tomorrow being an overtime day, a bonus day. Or maybe you take some things that you have planned for the weekend that are working on you and towards your goal, and maybe they become tomorrow night's goal. And then maybe you shift regular things for tomorrow night to the weekend. Maybe there's some juggling around we can do. We talk about planning and looking ahead and trying to kind of schedule things out as best we can. But this could be one of those instances where, hey, I get an extra day this month. Maybe I can make the most out of it, take advantage of it in February, and then I can get back to my regular scheduled routine as March begins. Maybe I can juggle some things around. Or again, maybe I use this time to do my regular Thursday things to make sure I get some of those February tasks completed so that on the weekend or on March 1st, I can focus back on March and get things going again. So that's one way you can do it, is kind of juggle things around and make use of that time. We have a little submission here. Nat says you can use the time to, or you could use the time to review and update your vision board for sure. Great idea, Nat. Again, we talked with Blake back in December about that, creating that vision board. Once we had our goal and our kind of strategies in place, creating that vision board is that reminder. Maybe things have changed a bit. Maybe the goal had to be adjusted. Maybe you're a little further ahead than before. Maybe you've thought of new inspiration, new ideas, new thoughts and feelings of how you will feel and react when you reach that goal. Maybe those are things you can bring into your vision board to refresh it a bit, review it. Again, maybe there's another outlet that maybe you focused on, say, a professional vision board before. Maybe there's a personal component to it of some goals you have set that you want to accomplish. Maybe that can be updated a bit. Maybe the two kind of merge together now and create one big vision board that aligns with your vision, mission, and what it is you're looking to accomplish. Then again, maybe you can keep that and update it and refresh it, and again review it, looking at, am I seeing it enough? Is it where I'm visiting it? Is it up in my office? Is it on the fridge door? Is it in the bathroom on the mirror? Do I need to make a copy? Maybe I need to put one at work. Maybe I put one in my drawer here that I can look and peek into once in a while to get that reminder. Maybe it's my screensaver or wallpaper Again, maybe it's on my office door, my bulletin board, maybe it's in a couple different places, maybe, and it's on my phone. Maybe that mission statement becomes my alarm that goes off a couple times a day to again remind me, to trigger me to think of and make decisions based on my vision board, which is based on my goal for 2024. So great idea, and I can't wait to hear how your review and update go of your vision board. No pressure, but we'll all wait for you to chip in. So again, juggling things around, making use of the time, reviewing vision boards. Again, reviewing your plan itself. Maybe you review your strategy and see how things are going. Again, use it as a bonus kind of check-in day that doesn't take away from March 1st. Again, it kind of gives you almost a neutral time to review, revisit. We're 2 months into the year, potentially 5 months into what we're doing, depending on how long you've been with us since we started planning. Again, great time to refresh and review. How are things going? Is there something I could update? Is my plan going to how I envisioned it? Have there been more obstacles than I thought or less? Do I need to refresh my plan, or do I need to readjust my focus? My destination maybe is a little different. If you're redoing your vision board because things have changed, then more than likely your plan and your strategies and contingency plans have to be tweaked and adjusted or updated as well. So again, sometime we can do this where you get a little bit of paperwork time in as needed. Again, making use of that time. Hey, Bonnie, welcome in. Good to see you. Glad you could be here. For those just tuning in, we're talking about how we can make the most of our 2 overtime periods we have coming up fairly soon. The first one being tomorrow as we record. It's the 29th of February. It's our leap day of this year. So we're talking about how we can take advantage of that to stay on track with our goals and to keep us moving forward. So we've talked about juggling some tasks around. We've talked about using it as almost a bonus check-in day where you can check on your plan, your strategies, even your goal. Maybe that wasn't quite as realistic as you thought it was when you said it. Maybe there's different layers to it. Maybe there's another component that you forgot to include when you set the goal. Maybe your why is more clear now than it was when you set the goal. Maybe creating a vision board and a vision statement has created that clarity for you that you can really specify the goal to you. And it's okay. We refresh, we readjust, and we keep going. So again, maybe this is a bonus day you can use for that. To again, not use up one of your regular days, kind of readjusting. You could kind of use it as that bonus strategy day. Now, it's suggested reviewing your vision board, maybe updating that. Again, if the goal needs updating, the vision board probably does too. Or as you're going along, again, maybe you've been reminded of something that happened to you before. That's a good cue for where you want to go. Or maybe you came across some new pictures or some new images, some new clip art or something, some word art that you found that really aligns with your goal and your vision. And you can, again, spruce up that vision board a little bit. Go ahead, use the time to do that. And what we can also do is, again, maybe this is a time where you can meet with someone, accountability partners, maybe your partner sit down, you and your spouse sit down, a coach that you have, maybe you book in a little bonus appointment to, again, check in, see how you're doing, what's working, what's not. Identify those hurdles you're trying to get over, but maybe you're stuck on them. What can I do? Again, getting that third party or that neutral viewpoint sometimes can make a big difference for you. That's just more of a clear picture that maybe you can give yourself because you see it all the time. You're looking at it, you're studying it, you're immersed in it. Again, that third party, that neutral party can sometimes create a great kind of a picture for you and really see through the weeds and find that little sticking point that maybe just a little bit of a tweak here would make a big difference for you. So you can use that time to maybe make an appointment, book a coffee date, whatever the case be, get on the phone a friend, and chat, see how things are going, and get yourself either, again, back on track or moving yourself even further forward than you already have. So again, if you're just tuning in or if you're with us on recording, thank you, first of all, for being here. And also love to hear from you in the chat of how you're going to make the most of our first overtime period, our leap day tomorrow on the 29th of February. Again, I've seen multiple stores say they're going to have a leap day sale. So they're taking advantage of the extra day. So why shouldn't we take advantage of it and make the most of it? So we're just sharing some strategies here of how we can make the most of that extra day that we have this year. Trying to, again, really seize the day and make the most of it and not just have it be a Thursday, which technically it is, but let's make the most of it and let's see what we can do to either, again, free up other time, maybe that we usually use for ourselves and our goal setting and our progress towards our goals. Or again, we just use that as a different goal itself, or a bonus day itself to work on those goals. I know for a lot of you that are here with us every week, tonight is sort of your personal development night. You tune in for PatFacts, we hang out, we share ideas, we laugh, we cry. Well, hopefully we laugh at least. And then you spend some time afterwards working on what we've talked about or working on what it is your goal is, those steps that you need to take today. Maybe this week you get a double day, you get a bonus day, tonight and tomorrow night. Maybe you pop in tonight, you're checking us out, you do some work. Tomorrow night, maybe you come in at 6, do a little work. Maybe at 7, you check out our pal Blake if he's broadcasting this week. I know he's had a little different schedule this week, but again, maybe you can group it into that, or again, spend the evening really fine-tuning those things. But what I'd like you to do is be purposeful with it. So we've discussed a couple of strategies, a couple of ideas. So pick the one that works best for you or a few, and then take some time and put them into place. Get out your pen and paper, get out your agenda, get out your notes app, your calendar, whatever you use, and plan it in. Make it an appointment, that extra little time. Plan out what you're going to do and put it into place. If you're moving stuff from the weekend to tomorrow night or from tomorrow night to the weekend to free up time, if you're trying to book an appointment with someone or maybe a call with a buddy, whatever it is, write it down, be clear about it, and then plan it. Put it in that agenda, put it in your calendar, just like an appointment. So then you can't get out of it, so to speak. Hopefully you won't then say, I'm just going to binge watch some TV tonight instead. That's okay if that's your thing, but we want to make the most of this time and try to keep ourselves progressing forward. Maybe you reward yourself with a little bit of TV after you get some good quality work in and making the most of this bonus time. Yeah, exactly, Natty. I was thinking of from a goal perspective, but for sure you can make this a reach out day to catch up with friends and family. Maybe a lot of you do your phone calls on the weekend to check in, how are things going, or maybe you try to fit it in here or there. Again, you've got a bonus day this year of the end of February. Maybe it's a reach out day to catch up with some friends and family, see how things are going. Again, maybe bounce ideas off each other, how your goal setting is working and your voyage towards your goal, how that's going. And you can check in and help each other, keep each other accountable, make sure everybody's doing well and doing okay. Maybe check on them after whatever it's doing outside. There's a window there. That's why I point that way. There's it was plus 14 to flash freeze into a snow squalls tonight here in Barrie. We get a little bit of everything over the last, or the next 24 hours. Maybe we check in and see how everybody's doing. Again, maybe that frees up your weekend to do some other things because you have this extra day, this extra evening this year to make the most of this day. So think of your strategy that works for you, whether, again, it's more personal development, PD time tomorrow, or maybe you're going to take, again, some things from another day, move them to tomorrow to make use of the time. And maybe it's just immersing yourself. Maybe you're studying. Maybe you're learning the skills that you need to learn to help progress you through that goal a little bit. Maybe you're going to grab some of those books on your shelf that you haven't read just yet. I'm working on it. And read some books. Maybe you listen to some podcasts, some personal development podcasts that you have been trying to catch up on, or you want to maybe sit and really listen when you have time because you want to take some notes and write things down. Maybe start a bit of a journal based on this topic from this sort of podcast. There's a great time for you to have an extra day. And maybe you can find a way to make that, hopefully, a bit of a routine. I don't have an extra day every month, but I do have a Thursday, at least one, if not 4, every month. Maybe I can use one of those Thursdays to make a professional development night. Maybe every other Thursday I can use as a professional development, immersing myself kind of night where I listen to podcasts or read books or whatever the case is, study my online course, whatever the case is. Again, hopefully this will open up some new avenues for you. You know what, when I moved that weekend stuff to Thursday, freed up my weekend, it actually makes more sense to do those things on a Thursday. I'm out anyway, and now I have the weekend to do some personal development. Maybe I can listen to a podcast while I'm doing stuff around the house. Again, trying new things might open you up to new opportunities, new solutions, new strategies that could maybe help your efficiency grow as well as your progress towards your goal. Man, pick an option for you, plan it out, have it ready, give it a try, and then see what it brings to you, what it gives you. Again, it could open up quite a few doors that you maybe just weren't aware that, hey, I can do all this Saturday stuff Thursday night. It's a little inconvenient. I kind of want to be home right after work. But you know what? If I give myself an hour, I can get these kind of things done. And then I'm home all day Saturday. I mean, I'm saving gas. I'm getting some personal development in. I'm having some more time at home. You know, maybe that little tweak and change. Maybe that's the roadblock you've been facing. Maybe that's the obstacle. Maybe it's that tweak where you'll just discover this little thing that, you know what, it's an extra day this month. But again, I've got Thursdays every month that I can make use of. Maybe it doesn't need to be every Thursday. Maybe it's just one Thursday a month or 2 Thursdays a month or every 8th Thursday. Again, there's just options there we can play with. It doesn't always have to be set in stone. We can tweak and adjust how we need to and kind of go from there. Great idea. Nat says she's going to look at her weekly routine and see if it's working for me and adjust. That's a great idea, Nat. A great way we can make use of that extra day. We can look at our weekly routines. We can look at our morning routines, our nighttime routines, all those routines, our workout routines, our nutrition routines, our sleep routines, any of those things that maybe think are just something's not quite right, or I'm not being as optimal as I could be. What maybe is a little bit off. Maybe that's the time to look. Maybe it's hard to see in the moment as we're trying to juggle different things and work on all these different tasks and projects and ourselves. But maybe with that extra day, we can, again, take a step back, or again, maybe involve a coach or a friend to look at things with you. We can look at our routines and maybe we see, you know what, when I first started this goal thing back in October, I was getting 7 hours of sleep a night. Now I'm getting 5 if I'm lucky. Oh, maybe that's why it's hard for me to go to the gym and to eat right and to manage my stress. Okay, so what can I do to get back to that? Obviously, my When Life Works list, you've heard us talk about that, is 7 hours sleep. How can I get back to that? What can I do? What caused me to be back at 5? I didn't even realize it was only 5 because I'm not sleeping well, or I can't relax, or, you know what, look, I'm looking at it. I'm not following my nighttime routine like I used to be. I'm not shutting off screens and reading books and stretching or yoga, whatever it is before you go to bed. I'm not following that routine anymore. So it's harder for me to get to sleep. I'm not getting the length of sleep I used to, probably not the quality either. And then that affects me the next day and a couple of days after that. And then that pattern continues. And then as you come across this, you might find a few things that you maybe need to tweak and adjust. I would suggest pick the one that's going to give you the most benefit first. Get that one back under control. And then, as we've mentioned before, everything is kind of an intertwined system. That one will more than likely affect and impact the others as well, making them easier to kind of improve on as we go. But again, this extra day could be a great chance to step back, revisit routines, plans, strategies, contingency plans, maybe your schedule. We talked about trying to look ahead and think of the busy times and the quiet times, and ramping up or ramping down maybe your progress towards your goals. Did you miscalculate a little bit? Maybe you were off on the busy time. Maybe it's been a little slower, a little longer after the new year for you. Maybe it's picked up sooner than you thought. Again, that's okay. We bring this out. Again, if it was easy, everyone would do it and everyone would have great success with all this stuff. But it's very individual. It's very specific to you. So again, maybe you need to get the calendars back out and say, okay, this was busy for me based on how it's looking. I'll probably be busier up until here, and then I'll probably see that downtime that I usually see here. How can I tweak and adjust? Or it's slower now, we see some more time here. Can I really intake or increase what I'm working on, my progress, my intensity, my focus to my goal. And then that way, when the busyness does come, because we know it will, then we can, again, ease off a little bit. We can take our foot off the gas a little bit so we can work on these other things and juggle these extra roles and responsibilities that we know are going to come with the busier time or the higher demand that might be placed on us based on the time of year. But again, sometimes we need to step back and take a look with fresh perspective or just clear perspective of what's going on. When we're not in the moment, we can really see what's going on. So make use of this time as best you can to, again, try to set yourself up for the highest level of success you can by achieving the goal you set December 31st, 2024. Okay, man, welcome in. Good to see you and hear from you. Chris says, I'm doing my weights workout as we speak. Awesome. You pushed me into it with this broadcast, not waiting for the extra day. Awesome. Love it. Great stuff, game. I'm making use of the time right now in the moment. For sure, a lot of people will, we're not a launch podcast yet, but again, it's a weekly kind of episodic show. We're here pretty much every week at 6, every Wednesday. A lot of people put it on their favorite podcast and get a workout in, or have it on in the stereo when they're walking the treadmill, lifting some weights. For some people, that works great too. Again, 2 birds, 1 stone. We're picking up information, we're learning, we're surrounding ourselves with a supportive community, and we're making ourselves better by, in K-Man's case, getting our weights in, by getting on the treadmill for a little bit, by walking around the neighborhood. Maybe not here because you might blow away tonight, but you get the idea. Again, we can kind of make use of that time. Maybe that becomes your weekly routine of, okay, every Wednesday at 6, we can listen to PatFacts, maybe watch if it's safe to do so, and we can get some weights in, we can get some cardio in, we can do some stretching, do a little Pilates. Maybe I'm soothing and melatonin, and it puts you at a calm state of mind, and you get a good stretch in, relax the body, whatever the case is. Again, it's about finding what works for you. For me personally, I prefer music to listening to a podcast. I'm still trying to figure that out and work that out when I work out. But if I'm in the car, if I'm cleaning around the house or something, I love to put a podcast in. But again, everyone's a little different. Maybe it's an audiobook. Maybe this book that's part of the collection you've had on your shelf for a while that you're going to start reading soon. Maybe you get an audiobook. Maybe you can listen to the audiobook and learn and immerse yourself as you're working out, as you're stretching, as you're commuting every day, as you're meal prepping, and whatever the case is. So again, you could even use that, your extra day. Chris has his extra day free because he's doing his workout tonight. Again, maybe you can look at different ways to be more efficient with your time. We're not going to say multitask too much, because multitasking typically means the quality comes down. But there's certain things we can pair up to make the most use of our time. Again, maybe working out, listening to something, commuting, listening to an audiobook, whatever the case is. Maybe you're ride the train every day to work. Grab your books, grab your Kindle, again, grab your phone and your headphones, and again, knock out some of this self-help, personal development material that we have that we don't really have time to work on. Yeah, maybe we can sit back and look at our plan, our strategy, and think, what's the best way I could make the most use of this time for us and keep ourselves progressing forward. Singing and dancing between lifts and push. I love that's a fun workout, okay, man. Little strength training, a little dancing. That's a pretty good workout. That's awesome. Yes, Nads, sure you could do this. Use your extra day for gratitude and mindfulness. 1,000% you could do that. An extra gratitude check is always good. You're right, Nats. Yeah, so maybe set up some extra time to, if you heard, I forgot to turn off my device before we started. Sorry for that. I owe everyone a push-up later. Maybe you use the extra time for some mindfulness. Maybe you shut everything off and have some quiet time. Maybe you practice some gratitude. Maybe you write in your gratitude journal. Maybe you phone someone and express gratitude to them or write them. If you've done our gratitude challenges before, we look at it that way of expressing the gratitude to the person or individual that we're feeling the gratitude towards, so they can benefit from it as well. For sure, an extra day of gratitude and mindfulness is a great idea. Maybe again, your mindfulness ties into a bit of a Pilates or yoga class or stretch, or even a weight workout like K-Man's doing. When I train my clients, my goal for them is to have a mindful workout. We're thinking of the muscles we're using to lift and lower the weights, or lift and lower our body and move through different ranges of motion. We're not just moving the weight, we're thinking of what muscles we're trying to use and how they help move us. So there's a mindful component to the workout. So in mindfulness for me and for you and for him and for her could be different. That's okay. But that's definitely another way you could make use of that time. Yes, Bonnie, for sure. Another day of kindness, another great idea. An extra day of the positivity pandemic. Woohoo! How's that a bad thing? An extra day of kindness. And I believe I saw somewhere, I tried to look it up quick before I came on here. I believe I saw somewhere that March 1st is Be Kind to Others Day or Kindness Day. And if not, it is now. We'll say it is. Another day of kindness. We get a bonus day of kindness this year, the 29th of February. Again, be extra diligent in your kindness. When you're at the grocery store, when you're buying gas, when you're in traffic, talking to people, when someone phones you to sell you insurance, maybe you're a little kind to them at first, but don't let them push you around. Well, let's try to be extra kind and practice that extra day of kindness and mindfulness and gratitude. All these great things that contribute to our positive health, but also that of those around us. Again, filling buckets up to fill our bucket up so everyone feels better, more light, more positivity, radiating, rippling out away from us to our environments. Then that's only going to bring good to those around us and to you. And then maybe it's easier for us to sit and reflect on our day or our plans and our routines, because we're in a positive mindset. We feel good. We feel energized and motivated. Maybe it's a little easier to step back and look at our workout routine or our strategy, our progress, because we're not so stressed out about it or so uptight about what's not working. Maybe we can step back and be calm and clearer and look through that. Maybe we can discuss it a little easier with those, again, that we're involved with. Because again, we come from that state of gratitude and it brings us down, hopefully into that green zone, but maybe even just to the yellow from the red, where we're not so high alert all the time. So great ideas, everybody. Yes, that's for sure. More kindness is definitely needed. It's always needed. Maybe we talked about this Valentine's Day, maybe some self-kindness. Maybe it's a great day to practice self-care. Maybe it's time to book in that massage or that spa day, or again, give yourself a day where you disconnect for half an hour and go for a walk in nature, or spend some quiet time, read a book, spend time with a loved one, get a nice workout in, whatever self-care is for you. Maybe there's a bonus day where we get some extra self-care in. And again, hopefully what some of this will lead to is more habits and then more routines, because you'll maybe see the benefit of it and you'll feel the good energy or the positivity or the self-esteem increase from maybe this little subtle change, taking advantage of this extra day that we have given to us that we don't get for another 3 years. So make sure you take advantage of it and use it. Such great ideas here, Chai. I love it when you guys show up with your fingers ready to type and give us those suggestions. And again, if you're not with us live, that's okay. Still, let us know in the chats what your idea is of making the most of the extra day, or how you're planning to. Now, maybe you've heard some ideas from us as well. We go back and check out the comments and the chats and interact with you as well. So definitely, if you're not with us live, let us know for your going forward. Thanks, Bonnie. Have a great evening as well. Our second period of overtime, that's coming up soon. If you have a second, Bonnie, tomorrow's the Elite Day. That's our first opportunity. It's our first period of overtime. Our second period of overtime comes in about a week and a half after tomorrow. March 10th, we spring ahead. Daylight savings time. We spring ahead 1 hour. We gain an hour. We gain an extra hour that week. So we have our Elite Day tomorrow. We have a full extra day tomorrow. And then a couple weeks into March, we get spring ahead. We gain an hour. So we gain an extra hour that day. So I believe it's Saturday night the 9th into Sunday the 10th is when it changes and goes forward. So again, what can we do to make the most of that hour? And you hear the classic thing, oh, I'm just an extra hour of sleep. That's going to be great. I'm just going to sleep for the extra hour. That's fine if you need that rest. What do most of us do though? think, I've got an extra hour. I can stay up later, watch a couple more shows, or do a little more, maybe some scrolling, or play another game or something. And then we don't take advantage of that extra hour. We sleep our regular time. We just shift it. 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. Oh, did I just say that wrong? Spring ahead, 2 becomes 3. Oh, yeah, I guess so. So we lose a day, lose an hour. Sorry, Chris, thanks for pointing that out. Spring ahead, 2 becomes 3. Fall, yeah, okay. So you get one period of overtime. In the fall, we'll get another one, and it'll work that way as well. Yeah, fall back, so 2 becomes 1, which is 2 again, yeah. So one period of overtime wasn't quite the big feature, I thought, but we got some great ideas coming out of this, which is great for us. And again, things we can save for when we fall back next fall and gain that extra hour of time. So again, we'll lose a little bit. So even more reason to take advantage of the overtime period we get tomorrow and that extra day, because in a week and a half, yes, we do get more daylight. So yes, we do get benefit out of that, and that's true. So make the most of the overtime we get tomorrow, because in a week and a half we lose an hour of time. So even more incentive, if there wasn't one, to take advantage of that. Get that day in tomorrow, figure out some things, so that again, when the time shifts, we're prepared, we're ready for it. We can handle that time change. And again, not go too far behind and not lose too much of our progress. So factor that in as you look at your plan tonight as we go forward into that bonus day that we get tomorrow. How are you going to make the most of it? And think of that incentive that in a week and a half, I'm going to lose that hour over the weekend. So what can I do to make the most of this time now, so that again, we can have the best impact of it and not be set back too far when we do lose that time, because we get more daylight. We want to make the most of that daylight time and be able to do more things outside once that time change does hit. So keeping up on our sleep, maybe your sleep routine is something you need to revisit, like we talked about earlier. Great time to do that now. Revisit it. What's working, what's not. Is my bedtime routine in check? No, I've kind of fallen off. How can I get it back on track? And then you've got a week and a half to try to get it back on track and get that sleep pattern returned, so that again, that extra hour, or that lost hour, sorry, isn't going to affect you quite as much. So we talk about time zones when traveling. Again, it takes a while for us to adjust. If we have our things in order, and our sleep routine in check, and our nighttime routine, and our morning routine even, to make the most of our days, then again, that extra hour of daylight, that less of an hour we get, the hour we lose in a week and a half following this extra day, again, won't have the impact on us. We want to minimize the impact it has on us, so that again, we can keep moving forward and progressing towards that goal. I mean, not maybe lose a few days to a week because we're a little groggy and trying to adjust to that hour that it takes us. So maybe you plan now, how am I going to adjust and prepare for losing an hour? Maybe that's your kind of goal for this evening. What can I do to prepare for that, so that again, I'm not thrown off so much? What do I do the day of? Do I make sure I get my workouts in? I stick to my routines. I treat it as a normal day and worry about what time it is, not what time it was. Let's put some of these things and plans in place to make sure that it's a smooth transition, so I just keep that ball rolling towards my goal. Thanks, K-Man, for clarifying that. But I'm just so excited for the daylight, and try not to blow away tonight. I get to get some backed up, reversed a little bit. So stay tuned for the fall version of overtime, where we do gain an extra hour. We get that hour back. Let's check the comments here one more. Yeah. And with that, more daylight for a lot of us, it'll yeah, the weather is crazy right now, so it's hard to believe, but the extra hour will help a lot of us feel a little better, feel more energized, because we get out of that kind of seasonal rut that a lot of people go through, especially this time of year when the weather can't decide what it wants to do. It's warm one day, cold the next, rainy one, snowy another day, possible thunder here and there. It's been a little bit of everything. Again, it can't make up its mind kind of which season it is. So having that daylight and having a little more certainty, and I know even now just having more daylight when I'm out in the evening doing a couple things that a few weeks ago driving to do them, it's dark already, and now it's light as we get there, and it just becomes dark as we're there. So it doesn't feel so late and like such a kind of long, lethargic day because it's lighter longer. So that'll help us even more. So again, brighten our spirits, pun intended, brighten our mood, again, hopefully lessen our stress or our kind of bad mood. That'll give us more energy and enthusiasm to contribute to working on that goal and helping us maintain our momentum and hopefully build more momentum progressing towards that goal. So hopefully that gave you some ideas. Again, let us know in the chat what your plans are for tomorrow for the leap day, or how you're going to use the leap day to your advantage. Again, maybe it's moving something else to the leap day to free up other time or to create other opportunities. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever's going to work best for you. But love to hear from you how you're going to make the most of it, or even after the fact, come back to this video and in the chats, or if you're joining us next week, let us know how you spent your leap day or how you made the most of that extra overtime day that you get this year. Again, we only get one of these this year, another 4 years until the next one. So make the most of it, make it count, make it work for you towards that big goal that you set for December 31st. Use this bonus day to the best of your advantage to really keep yourself working towards that goal. Don't waste the bonus day. We never have the time. Here's an extra 24 hours this year given to us. Let's make the most of it in whatever way makes the most sense for you. That's it for tonight, gang. Sorry for the little longer show, but again, with everyone here, love interacting with you guys and sharing the information. So that's fine. Thanks for being here, and stay safe out there. And the weather is really crazy, and again, not sure what it wants to do with itself. So be safe out there. Take care of yourself. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Always love having you guys here and sharing the energy with us. Next week, we're going to talk about me. Yeah, sorry. We're going to do a bit of a reintroduction. Some of you have been here and been with me. I know there's some new people kind of tuning in as well. We're going to do a little reintroduction to me and Pat on Your Back Personal Fitness. So if you have friends and family members who have been thinking about maybe getting into a wellness journey or seeing what we're all about, again, we're going to give you a little bit of backstory into me and some history, what I've been up to, what I've done, and what I have kind of coming up as well. So that'll be our 7 p.m. crew is here as always. That'll be our topic for next week, a little reintroduction to myself and kind of where I hope to keep things going for myself, but mostly for you guys as well. So have a great night, everyone. Stay safe, take care, and remember, always make yourself the priority that you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. See you next week.